Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about probably the most discussed topic on pretty much any forum that I've been on and on some car Facebook groups, and that is car insurance. Now over the last year you've probably even realized yourself that your renewals, or when you're searching for car insurance for your current car or a new car, it's pretty much sky high compared to what you were expecting or what you'd paid for the year before. Now I've been talking to a few people that are specialists in, like, say, the car insurance field or just insurance generally, and I'm going to put together some of the thoughts that I've learned from those guys and put them across to you guys as to why insurance is as high as it seems now than it was a year ago. So one of the reasons that I've learned why we are paying high premiums this year compared to, let's say, a year ago or 2 years ago, and that's because of the aging population of drivers that we have on our roads. We've now got a lot more older drivers that are still driving the cars, and now we've also got young drivers that are passing their driving tests much earlier and they're getting on the road. So if you weigh up, let's say, the risk there, you got an aging population that are still driving. My dad is in his 80s and he's just renewed his driving license again, and he's quite happy driving, so you know, that's fair play to him. But then you also got some young drivers that are passing at the age of 18, so although they're also being penalized, let's say, for having high premiums at their kind of sectors in terms of age, the majority of the drivers that are, let's say, between, let's say, 25 and 55 are also paying, you know, high premiums, because somewhere the insurance companies have got to, you know, make their books balance, I suppose. So guys, do you remember when, like, car manufacturers were banging on about the shortage of semiconductor chips? Well, guess what? That's another reason why our insurance premiums have skyrocketed. Now, the reason for that is most modern cars have got so much, like, sensors. My A7 right now that I'm sitting in, God forbid if I was to have like a front end collision with this car, there'll be so many sensors that will need replacing, and because of those kind of shortages, this car will take longer to fix. It'll end up in, like, say, an insurance approved workshop somewhere. They'll place an order, they'll be waiting so long. I'll be making use of like a loan car, and all of this cost is going to be paid by my insurance company. So because of that increase in cost, it's been passed on to pretty much all of us, like, motorists out there. So another reason I've learned why insurance premiums have gone up is because of the cost of living crisis, which is affecting pretty much everyone. You, me, everyone out there, whether it's in the UK or in Europe or the rest of the world. Now, why does that affect, like, the insurance premiums? Now, insurance companies have got like a vast array of, like, a supply chain, whether that's like a garage who's going to go and fix your car, right down to the people that are going to be handling the claims when you do have a knock. So they're going to be paying like a fair wage, let's say, to their own staff. The garage where your car ends up going for, like, say, you know, some work being done to it, they're going to be also increasing their prices because everything is costing them a lot more. Heat, light, you know, their wages and whatnot. And the insurance company is the place where everything kind of comes together, and then they divvy up how much the insurance quotes should be, or how much the premiums should be. So that is one of the reasons why insurance premiums have gone up. So another reason why insurances have gone up is because of the number of claims that are actually happening, whether that's through road traffic accidents or whether that's by thefts. Since COVID, it's pretty much accelerated. Now we've also got more electric vehicles on the road. Now the thing with electric vehicles is, and this is just my opinion, there's not many moving parts in an electric vehicle. You got a battery pack and you got some motors. It's kind of new technology. If you were to have like some kind of a shunt in an electric vehicle, the chances are it's probably going to get written off, because, you know, I don't know how much these battery packs are going to cost to replace, or a motor, but certainly it's not going to be as interchangeable as, like, say, 3 or 4 components on an internal combustion engine car. So it's going to cost more to, let's say, not only insure an electric vehicle, but to actually repair, or to even, let's say, pay out for an electric vehicle. I mean, the other thing is, when I'm talking about thefts, I read somewhere only recently that Range Rovers are pretty much uninsurable, and Land Rover themselves are offering insurance quotes to people, and they were, like, really proud to say that our average quote is less than £250 a month, which is about £3,000 a year. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Okay, so that kind of summarizes why insurance premiums have gone up. Now, it's a bit unfair because there might be people like you and me out there who have got another year's no claims, another year's clean license, and we're still paying a lot more. Now, here's a few things that you can probably do to lower your premium. So just a quick disclaimer before we go any further. I'm not going to propose that you lie to your insurance company to lower your premium. This is what I've just found in terms of finding a lower quote that may help you guys as well. So you got yourself your renewal quote, you're looking at it and you're feeling a bit depressed, thinking, oh my god, it's like twice the amount that I paid last year, or probably even more than that. Do not renew straight away based on your renewal. Get yourself on some comparison websites, put in your details and see what your quotes come in at. That's the first thing that you should do. You should always try and renew at 21 days. I mean, I personally found that renewing either at 25 days or at 15 days, the prices are usually a lot higher. 21 days seems to be like, say, the sweet spot, and that's generally when I try and renew my insurance, and I tend to get, like, say, the best quote. I mean, that quote, you don't have to renew straight away. You might still be valid for a few days after that, but 21 days is when you should start to begin your car insurance from that point. So another thing that you could do to help bring your premium down is if you got a partner or you got a spouse and they've got a driving license, let's assume it's a clean driving license, get them on your policy. Even though you don't want them to ever drive your car, just get them on your policy, because it will bring your premium down, as it will show to the insurance company that you're not the only person driving the car. It's weird, but trust me, it does work. You may get asked a question that might say, do you have access or drive any other cars? I would always click yes on there, and the reason for that is because it will show that you're driving other cars and not only your own car, so therefore the risk on your car will be reduced, and that hopefully will bring your premium down as well. And that car could be anything from, let's say, driving someone's car at third party, providing that your insurance covers that, or it could be that, you know, you may have like access to like a pool car at work or something. Don't lie, but it will definitely help bring your premium down. So I've noticed that there's a question that you're going to get asked at times, whether you've got kids under the age of 16. Now, believe it or not, by clicking yes on there, it will always bring your premium higher than someone that doesn't have kids. And the reason for that is kids generally be making quite a lot of noise, whether they're sat in the back or the front in the car seat or whatnot. So that's like a distraction point, I suppose, when you're on the road. Again, I wouldn't lie about it. If you have got kids that are under 16, then definitely tick the yes box. Otherwise, if you're not being asked, there's no reason to declare it, I suppose. Insurance companies will always ask you for your occupation and the industry that you work in. I'm going to break this down in, let's say, two sections here. Your occupation. For example, if you are, let's say, a director of a business, your insurance premium might be higher than if you were, let's say, a manager. And the reason for that is directors usually have quite a bit of stress. They might feel stressed at the wheel. They might make like a poor judgment on the road. They may also be on the road more frequently than someone that's, let's say, who's just like, let's call it a manager. And therefore, there's more risk of the director being involved in a road traffic accident. That's just the way it is. So another thing about job titles is to actually ask yourself, what do you exactly do? So for example, I'm going to put out, let's say, if you're a finance analyst, but you've got a team of about 3 people, you put finance analyst into, let's say, a comparison site or the insurance quote to generate one, it might work out to be about 50 or 60 pound more expensive than if you were to put in finance manager. And the reason why I'm saying you might want to put down finance manager is because you're working in finance and you've got a team of 3 or 4 people that you might manage. So therefore, finance analyst or finance manager, you know, if it's going to save you a bit of money, you're not exactly lying. And I'm not saying that you should lie. I'm just saying, you know, if you were to kind of just reassess what you do, or if someone was to ask me, look, I've got a team of about 3 people that I manage, I would kind of say, well, in that case, you're a manager rather than a solo. So therefore, sometimes the roles and occupation does kind of help bring down your premiums. So the industry also affects how your premiums are calculated. Now, if you are a finance manager and you manage to bring that down, but you're working in, like, let's say, a construction industry, well, then you're always going to be around, say, construction material and plant and stuff like that. So there's more chance of, let's say, something hitting your car, you know, and that could, you know, increase your premium. The other way is if you are working as a finance manager, but let's say, I don't know, you're working in an IT business or something like that, the premiums might be lower because you're just going to be parking your car in a secured car park somewhere as well. So there's loads of variables that are going to play, and ultimately it will come down to a few of your own variables as well. So, you know, the type of driver that you are, the age of yourself, your postcode. There's a lot of lottery that's going on, but I do empathize with you guys that, you know, have received quotes, you know, including myself. You kind of received a quote where it's a lot higher than what it was a year ago, and that is just some of the reasons that I've highlighted in this video earlier on as to why it's a lot higher. So one key thing to note is that not every single insurance company is going to be on comparison websites. You will have to go and find them and try your luck by putting in your details on their own websites and see what kind of quotes that you might get back. You might be pleasantly surprised, like the way I was. So guys, one thing that I urge you guys to do is to declare the modifications on your car, because your insurance company will not pay out a single penny if you've got mods on your car and they've not even been declared. So definitely worth doing. So one thing that I'd want from my viewers who are on the road is to always stay safe, and two, to be always insured, because if you are not insured and you're using the lame excuse of, oh, my insurance premium was so high that I couldn't afford to pay, well, then you shouldn't really be on the road. And if you are driving around uninsured and you come across this vid, then the one thing that I'd want you guys to really like take note of is it's illegal to be driving a car, you know, in the UK for sure anyway, without insurance. And if you do end up having an accident and, you know, hurting someone else and yourself, you could be doing some time in some prison in the UK. You know, just let that sink in for a little bit. Yeah, hopefully guys, I've given you some insight as to why insurances are so high. I mean, you probably already know this anyway, but there's some tips that I've probably given you as to how you can reduce your premium. I would never want you guys to lie, so only make those claims if they are like valid. But if you have found this video informative, then definitely give it a like. Subscribe to the channel guys, because that keeps me motivated to do more vids like this and some more. The next one I'm going to be covering is in my GTI, where I'm going to give you like my 12 months ownership of that car as well, and how that's been after about 10,000 miles. So yeah, if you want to catch up on some GTI content, then definitely stay tuned for that. Otherwise guys, I'll see you on the next one. Take care, bye.